Good morning, everybody. It's the Savage Stacker. All right, I made this video already once and I had to switch it out. I bought a brand new microphone and it keeps fading in and out, in and out. So I'm going back with just the regular old iPhone here. All right, if you guys were watching Precious Metals last night when it opened, I happened to be at Salivate Metals live stream and checking out the markets with him on Sundays. I love going over there and doing that and seeing all the people. And it was a historical event. Gold just skyrocketed right out of the gate. When I saw it hit to $2,090, I just went, wow, we're going to see $2,100 gold this year. And I thought, there's no way. And it just kept going. 2104, 2112, 2125. And I just went, no way. Every time I looked at it, refreshed, it was up again and again and again. I believe it maxed out at $21.48 and some change, and up $64 and some cents, 3% in a matter of 30 minutes. It was a historical event, and it was crazy. I watched the people that were coming to Sal's live stream go from the regulars, 200 people as norm, and then it went to like 700 and 800 and almost 1,000 people in his live stream. And I just went, people are showing up. This is getting crazy. And I thought to myself, what is the one thing that we all do as stackers and collectors of gold and silver that the 99% of the population don't do? And that's look at the spot price on metals at least once a day or a couple times a week. And the rest of the population, they don't even know how to even look up the spot price for gold. I'm sure it's a lot easier now with everybody's smartphone, but I've said this to my family before. I'm like, oh, gold is on the rise. And they're like, how do you even know that? How do you look that up? And it just boggles me that people don't even know this information. There's so much information at our fingertips, and people just don't really know about gold and silver. We are the 1 or 2% of the population that are just doing what we know best to save money and get out of the dollar, and that is stacking precious metals. All right, I'm going to tell you guys a little story here in a second and take the information for what it is and do with it as you will. But first, let's talk about a couple things. What I see going on here is right now with stacking precious metals, it is kind of hard. You get this kind of this emotional tie where you want to see metals go up, to justify your purchases, but at the same time we want them to stay down because you want to be able to buy more ounces for your dollars. And I like seeing it go up. I really do like seeing it take off, but I know that it's going to be a lot harder to get this stuff to my house for a good price. And sometimes when you see spot price go up like that, the premiums come down, but sometimes they don't. And it's just a matter of, what's going on and different bullion dealers and stuff. And some of them really try to keep those premiums up pretty high. If you shop around and look, you'll see what's going on with that, but that's a whole nother story. So right now, I'm backing off of gold. I'm not going to be purchasing much gold. Seeing it around the $2,100 mark is just too high. I mean, to get a coin to your house, a full ounce, you're looking at $2,200, close to it. That is just a lot of money. That's an extremely high amount of money. So right now, I think the better buy is silver because it's at half of its all-time high. And some would say, it's not going to get up too much higher, so why stack silver when you can stack gold? And the one thing with gold is I'm in the green. I'm even with all of my gold purchases, really. Except for some of my 1/10 ounces and stuff like that was like $2.40, per coin. But my 1 ounce stuff, my half ounce stuff, quarter ounce stuff, I'm even or made money on my 1 ounces for sure. Silver, I cannot say that. Back in 2020, I was paying quite a bit of money, $28 to $30 to $32 an ounce to get it to the house, which was really, really high. And so I don't mind paying these prices at $26, $27 an ounce right now at all, because I know that it has room to go up. Now, gold, it really, it has room to go up, and it should be going up, but it also can pull back just as fast as it goes up. So if you buy gold at the top right now, chances are you can get caught with your pants down, just plain and simple. And some of the 1/10 ounces and smaller pieces of gold are quite pricey, and there are some deals out there, but it doesn't mean you're going to make the money back on that fairly fast. 1 ounce is a lot easier to do that with. The premiums are much lower. Depends on what you buy. Of course, if you buy a Libertad, that's out of the question. You're not going to see the money back with that for quite a while. But Buffaloes, Eagles, Maples, all those, you're going to break even on that fairly easy. Silver, it's a little bit harder to do. It's a little bit more speculative. It's volatile, but right now, with being half of its all-time high, it can go up, and you can actually do pretty well with it if you were thinking of it as an investment. Now, this brings me into my little story. So recently, I've been buying more Eagles, and I'm very happy that I've been able to buy Eagles. I haven't been able to buy Eagles in quite a while, so I was very upset, not upset, but just kind of bummed that I couldn't buy more Eagles or wouldn't buy more Eagles for the last few years because the premiums were so high. But recently I have purchased, I think, four or five tubes of Eagles. And well, I've purchased 4. My wife is going to give me one for Christmas, but the premiums on them are coming down. And lately, my coin shop has had them for a very, very good price. We're talking about $27 to $28 an ounce. And that is great, because that's, if you buy online, just regular bullion right now, you're paying about that price to get it to your door for regular bullion. So if I can get Eagles for a cheap price, I am going to get them all day long. I'd rather have Eagles pretty much than anything else, except for my vintage stuff, which I love a lot. But that's whole nother category. So as far as bullion goes, if I can get Eagles for cheap, I'm going to buy Eagles. I like Eagles, and I've been trying to put a monster box together since like early 2019, and was buying lots of tubes of them and had to stop for a while. So I started buying tubes, and this brings me into that story. My LCS has been buying monster boxes, and one of the guys bought a monster box in 2011 for around $50 an ounce at the top of the market at its high, speculating that it was going to continue to rise and he was going to make all kinds of quick money on a monster box of Eagles. 12, 13 years later, he's selling that monster box for half of what he paid for it, and he held on as long as he could. But like I said before, people are hurting right now, so they're having to do things that they really don't want to do. And that's like, sell a monster box of Eagles that you paid double for 12 or 13 years ago. So he lost half of his money on that because he bought it at the top of the market, thinking it was going to continue to go higher. Now, take this information as you will. Gold is at its all-time high. Should we be buying gold right now? Could we get stuck sitting on $2,100 gold and it pull back and it take years to get our money back? Now, gold's a lot less speculative. It's going to do way better things than silver's going to do. So, but is it still a good time to buy gold? That is the question. We got to bounce that around our head. Some of you have came by in my last video and said, you're still buying gold, and I get it. Gold is good to have. I like buying it, but is it a smart idea to buy it at its all-time high? That seems to be the question. So we got to be careful with that. And gold and silver, kind of a little bit different markets. So, you never know if gold, I don't think, is going to pull back by half and then be sitting at, $1,000 an ounce for 13 years. I don't think it will ever do that. Just adjusted with inflation, it should be higher than it is now. And silver, I think it's increased right now up to $25 an ounce, $26 an ounce is a healthy increase over time. Do I think it's where it should be? No, I think it should be much higher. But being half of its all-time high, I think any kind of movement we see with it, even if it shot up to $30 an ounce, I think it's healthy and where it should be. So I think silver still is the better buy, just all day long. Now, if I see silver shoot up to $35, $40 an ounce in like a 3-4 week period, I'm going to shut down buying altogether, because it could pull back just as quick. And like that happened to that other guy, I don't want to be sitting on a bunch of stuff that I spent $40 an ounce on for the next 13 years. And that's why I stopped buying Eagles altogether back in 2020, because, well, I did buy a two tubes in 2021 of one of each new types, right? One of the old types, one of the new types. But that was it. That was all I bought in almost 4 years. So I'm glad to see them coming down. I'm glad to see the premiums coming back down, but I don't want to get stuck sitting on something that costs $40 an ounce, knowing that today we're paying $27, $28 an ounce. So you got to be careful with your purchases. That market is very, very, very speculative. You never know how long the price is going to stay up for. There was a lot of people during that time that were telling me on my channel and other channels and saying that they're going to continue to buy Eagles even at $40 an ounce. Some are paying $45 an ounce. And I'm like, silver's at like $28 an ounce right now. There's no way I'm paying $45 an ounce to get it to my door. There's just no way. And now look at it now. The premiums are down, spot price is down. Eagles are around 28 to 30. Well, online they're like $32 an ounce. But if you can get them for cheaper, you know, I would have hated spending all the money I've spent on all these bars and all this generic stuff over the last few years, and got half the amount of my silver and bought Eagles, and now it come back down that far. I would have been very upset at myself. So I'm glad I held off on the Eagles. And the same thing with gold. If it's up this high, I'm gonna have to stop buying gold for a while just to see where it goes, see what happens. So that's what I'm doing right now. What are you guys doing? Let me know down in the comments. Man, we have seen gold at its all-time high. Things are crazy. Last night was insane. It was fun hanging out at Sal's. I love hanging out over there, especially when things like this happen. I remember when the silver short squeeze was going on, and there was like 1,700 people at his live stream. It was crazy. It was like 4,000 people. It was quite a few people. And we were watching it, hoping it'd get over 30. And I think at one point it did, like 30.04 or something at one point, and then came back down to like $28 an ounce. It was just crazy. Like, there was so much going on. And again, last night, just being over there and at the hangout with all the people and just watching the excitement of gold and silver hitting an historic high. And that was history in the making right there. And I was glad to have been there at Sal's channel to check it all out and see it go down with my own eyes. Was insane. Every time you refresh, you'd be like $10 up, $10 more up, $10 more up, just over and over and over again. So really insane. And what do you guys think? What do you think gold is going to do this week? I think we're poised for a pullback, and it's going to probably steady off at around, mellow out at around $2,000 mark. That is what I think is going to happen, but you never know. There's so many things going on geopolitically, just with the economy, inflation, all these things. You just don't know. It could be that time. Gold and silver could just take off. We just don't know. Is it the end of stacking if it does? I'll tell you right now, silver hits $35 an ounce and gold stays above 21. My stacking days will be limited. Not that I'm going to be getting out of stacking. I'm just going to be holding off to see what it does, because you never know. We could get caught with our pants down. You just don't want to get caught with your pants down. I know there's people out there that purchased a lot of silver and gold way back in 2010 and 2011 that did get caught with their pants down, thinking there's no way it could go back down, and it did. The economy was in shambles, and then it did come back down. So what do we do? Do we just hold off and just wait and ride this out? Or do we continue to stack? If I stack anything right now, it's going to be silver. And I'm going to keep watching these gold prices and just be grateful that I was able to buy as much gold as I was able to get in the last couple of years. I think it has a chance to go even up further, but I'm not in the market to speculate like that. I just want to be able to hold the value, my hard-earned money, in gold and silver, but I'm not willing to speculate and go all in when it jumps up this high like this. For right now, I'm going to stick with stacking silver just for the time being and just see what happens to the gold market. Thank you everybody for coming by. It is a Savage Stacker. Remember to hit that bell icon to get updated on my latest videos. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Savage Stacker says thank you all for coming by. Savage Stacker over and out.